Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for joining our behind the scenes interview series. So today I am really pleased to introduce Carlos Núñez, CEO and founder of Kontiki Expeditions. Carlos is the visionary behind a quite different way of exploring Costa Rica and Panama. And the ship Kontiki explores through small scale conscious expedition yachting these two destinations. And so from remote coastal routes to meaningful community partnerships, Kontiki is redefining what warm weather expeditions can be. And Carlos has been at the very heart of that transformation. So Carlos, thank you so much for joining me today, and very warm welcome.
Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you so much, Advil, for the invitation to talk a little bit more about Kontiki and Panama and Costa Rica.
Brilliant. So given your background in luxury travel and yachting and business development, what was the moment or insight that sparked the creation of Kontiki Expeditions?
Well, yeah, it was a really long journey, but I was working for my family business. My father founded this company of the tuna company, 35 years ago. And I was in charge of the tuna fleet.
Okay.
So looking for one of the solutions for one of the tuna boats, I went to Guayaquil on a shipyard in Ecuador, and I saw this yacht abandoned. So I was in the moment in my life that I want to do something else, So yeah, why not? And then we just create this crazy idea at the very beginning to do the first and to be pioneers of doing the first expedition along the Ecuadorian coast, not the Galapagos.
Okay, very interesting. And how did your passion for ocean conservation shape the DNA of the Kontiki from the very beginning?
Yeah, well, Kontiki was born with a simple belief, which is since we're a small scale, a small boat, so we basically can protect better in comparison with, large scale tourism, which harms a little bit, the environment. So yeah.
Can you actually, for those who don't know Kontiki Expeditions, can you talk a little bit about the yacht and the capacity and sort of, when you started and all that?
Kontiki War is a 128 feet long yacht with 9 cabins for 18 people. We have 4 decks. In each deck, we have the veranda deck, we have 5 rooms. 4 of them are interconnected for families.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we have the Camptas Bridge there. Then on the main deck, we have 3 rooms, the panoramic views rooms. Also, we have the dining area, the lounges, and a bar. And then we have also the interior deck. We have another room there, the porthole cabin, plus gym, spa, and a one cellar, the best of the ship.
Brilliant.
And also, last but not least, we have the sand deck, which has a jacuzzi with sunbeds, alfresco dining for 20 people, and also a wet bar.
Okay, wet bar. Okay, brilliant. So, and when we talk about the those 2 destinations, Costa Rica and Panama, and we talk about them traveling to these places differently. So, what does that mean in practice for your clients when they go on board the?
Yeah, well, basically, is to discover and exploration. Since we want to avoid crowds, and we go to places that no one else can take you because of the size of the ship. So basically, yeah, we visit, pristine islands, secluded bays, mangroves. We visit also small communities, So yeah, to experience the region as a local,
Brilliant. And it's obviously Ecuador is home to Galapagos, and of course that's a massive draw for a lot of travelers globally, and and it's a quite interesting decision to take the ship outside the Ecuadorian waters. And can you, so because obviously you must know quite well what the overall situation is from a point of view of expedition cruising to Costa Rica and Panama. how would you say you compare to other players that occasionally visit these two places?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely, like we have like three things. We have three things, which is intimacy,
Mm,
comfort, and authenticity, because with only 18 guests, we have a really
mm,
good personal service, with local cuisine. Also, wellness for us is really important.
mm.
We do have flexible itineraries, so we blend this magical kind of expedition energy, with private yachting and of course with a top service. Yeah.
Brilliant. And talking about the best time of the year to visit these two places, does it follow some kind of seasons?
Yeah,
How
we do
long? Yeah.
have we
Mm,
do have 2 seasons from November to, let's say, June.
mhm,
Is like we can say like the dry season.
mm,
So you have, yeah, beautiful sunsets, a lot of sun. There's some rains, and then from August, July is like the transition month, but from August to October, part of November is like the rainy season,
mhm,
It rains super early in the morning or the afternoon between, past lunch, like 1 hour or two maybe, not like the monsoons, like heavy rain.
mm.
But yeah, so basically we have 2 seasons.
Brilliant. So Kontiki places a quite strong emphasis on conscious and responsible travel in this region. So can you share a couple of examples of how this philosophy translates into the day-to-day guest experience when they are in those two places?
Yeah, yeah. Well, basically, you wake up early in the morning, you have
Mm,
breakfast, then just go to the stern of the boat. We gather all the people there, since there are only 18 people, so we have two guides for them, in two pangas, two zodiacs,
mhm,
So you just go there, get off the boat, go on exploration. What kind of exploration in the morning depends on tides and all that. We'll probably visit a natural reserve or go
mm,
to visit a cacao plantation, or a coffee plantation, or maybe go and go to a natural reserve or do a private beach day experience. Then you just come back to the boat, um, have a lunch, then you can rest, 1 or 2 hours, and then we are prepared for the next afternoon experience of the boat, which is, we can go to the other places that, as I mentioned earlier, or maybe you just stay at the boat enjoying the beautiful marine playground that we have, because we have a slide, a pool. We have four sea bobs, kayaks, paddleboards, marine platforms. So yeah, you can enjoy, to be just having a really nice marine afternoon.
brilliant. And how does sustainability look like beyond the environmental side, particularly in terms of community engagement and cultural authenticity in these places that you go to?
Yeah, well, in general, Kontiki always talk to the communities in terms
Mhm,
of what and curate those experiences as well.
mhm.
So yeah, so we just go there and empower communities, and we work closely with them in order to ensure that we can co-create something really unique for our guests. Yeah.
Brilliant. And like well-being and reconnecting with nature seem to be also important to your itineraries. You are traveling as well, to a place like Costa Rica. So how intentional was the inclusions of wellness elements on board the ship?
Yeah, well, from the very beginning, when I think about Kontiki and start building it, wellness for us is a truly important element. Right now, there's a trend with wealthy people are no longer looking for buying personal goods.
Mhm.
They are looking for experiences, and wellness and well-being experiences are on top of that. So yeah, so for us, go into nature and have some yoga classes and early in the morning, or have a spa with a masseur that wanna deliver the best massage for you and your family or whatever friends. So yeah, it's like to disconnect to connect, you know.
Okay.
So yeah. Mhm.
Brilliant. And so what would you say surprises your clients most about exploring Costa Rica and Panama with Kontiki? Because obviously they come with some kind of idea what they're going to experience. And what would you say are the most surprising elements of a trip with you?
Yeah, well, in both places, we visit like super untouched areas, you
Okay.
know, and the fact that obviously Costa Rica is pretty well known because of the ecotourism, and so that's what impact most. And now Panama is always is also a country that's getting super well known because of that, because are quite similar, you know.
Hmm.
They're so close, they're border each of them. So yeah, but I can say that, you know, go to untouched areas and deeply feel and connect with communities. That, you know, what most surprise our guests.
Yeah, because I actually saw you go to, I'm not sure if I pronounce it correctly, but is it Coiba Island?
Coiba Island,
Coiba,
yeah.
yeah, which is a
Coiba
quite
Island,
fascinating place. It's
yeah.
a marine reserve and a
That's
penal
right. So
colony, and yeah.
Coiba Island is now is a marine reserve and is also part of this marine corridor.
Hmm.
This Panama, Costa Rica, Ecuador, and Colombia got together like 3 years ago,
Hmm.
and they built this marine corridor with these four islands, which are Coco Islands in Costa Rica, Darwin Gulf and Galapagos in Ecuador,
Yep.
Valtello, Colombia, and Coiba, Panama.
Okay.
So they all form this marine corridor in order to pursue conservation, marine conservation. And now there are some studies that are now that we know that they just tracked hammer sharks and turtles, and it's beautiful to see that they are interact and they travel all around this between this corridor, you know. So Coiba in Panama is part of this corridor. So yeah, it's amazing how, you know, human can take really good decisions in order to preserve Earth and the
Brilliant.
ocean.
And you actually spent a couple of days around there, right?
That's right.
So
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
the island is so big that yeah, you can spend a couple of days there. Actually, one of the visits in the second day is to visit. There used to be a penal colony there, you
yeah,
know, with a lot of history
yeah.
involved. There are the ruins of the colony, and there's also a particular which is already existing, is still existing, a White House, and that White House, the owner was the former dictator of Panama, Manuel Noriega.
Okay.
And there's a lot of stories behind that. You know, Pablo Escobar usually visit him because there's a stripe there, you know, and flying with, you know, with many many things there
Yeah.
in order
Okay.
to, yeah. So it's super exciting the story behind that. You know, is yeah, it's beautiful. Coiba is a really nice place to visit, definitely.
So consider, I mean, because obviously, you know, Costa Rica, especially for UK travel, is a quite known destination, and Costa Rica has its a reputation of one of the sort of greenest destinations to travel to, and you know also the variety of wildlife species, especially birds and stuff like that. But a lot of people will spend most of the time traveling on the land, doing, you know, the usual sort of routines. And what I think Kontiki brings to this experience is a quite unique, you know, talking about Costa Rica, and then obviously Panama is a different talk, but you get to experience Costa Rica from a very different level, like the sea level. And I think Golfo Dulce as well is a quite difficult to reach otherwise. And so can you talk a little bit about the Costa Rica trips and why
Sure.
somebody should consider Costa Rica A as a destination, and B what you guys do in Costa Rica that makes it quite unique place to
Yeah.
visit.
Yeah, definitely. We operate from the center south part of Costa Rica,
Okay.
which is, yeah, Osa Peninsula and Golfo Dulce, like as the main
Mm.
attractions. Um, so what the most thing that I love of that area is that it is true there are a couple, three really nice hotels, but there's poor infrastructure. So the roads are not so good. It takes a little bit of time to go from one part of the Golfo Dulce to the other side of Golfo Dulce, because Golfo Dulce is a tropical fjord, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Is one of the one of the fourth tropical fjords in the world. So yeah, so at the end, you know, when you think about Kontiki and the DNA, and you think about Peninsula Osa and Golfo Dulce, the match is perfect, you know.
Okay.
And they're super secluded areas. Is you know, the contrast of the blue ocean and sometimes turquoise water as well, plus the green of the rainforest, you know. So I always make this joke: is the only thing that we miss is the dinosaurs, and we can be in Jurassic Park, you know.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
so it's really amazing and beautiful in comparison with the center north part of Costa
Yeah.
Rica, which now is more developed. They're beautiful villas. You know, super well-known brands are operated them in that area. So, but now what happened is overcrowded, you
Okay.
know, because many Americans are coming to that area, and there are plenty of also some golf courses as well. So,
Okay.
you know, it's getting, you know, you can see that life already is there, you know,
Okay.
in comparison to the south, which is you and and nature.
So what kind of activities people can expect from a, land-based activities? What kind of adventures do you offer in Costa Rica?
Yeah, of course, you know, Costa Rica is pretty well known because of adventure as well.
Mm-hmm.
So one of our days, or one of our short excursions, is to go on these rafting classes, taking
Okay.
some rafting classes. Nothing professional, just
Mm-hmm.
for beginners, you know,
Yeah.
ideally for families and kids, but still you have the vibe and sentiment of going on these rapids, you know.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
But yeah, but super safe, always within the structure in each raft. Yeah, and also we offer some zip lining, and canoeing as well. Snorkeling, go to snorkeling in, for instance, in Isla del Caño, which is the second best preserved reef in the Pacific Ocean. So it's just beautiful. You don't need to be an experienced diver. As long as you can swim, just put your mask, the snorkel, and just go there and find out by yourself the beauties of Isla del Caño. You know, a lot of turtles and fishes and marine life, yeah, and the reefs as well, you know. So yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, guests traveling with Kontiki Expeditions can also go diving, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
yeah, you can
Okay.
do that. You can also go diving. The only thing that we required is that you must have the PADI
Yep.
certification. Yeah, yeah.
And is it available to potentially all guests, or it's limited to a specific number
No,
of
no,
divers?
yeah, we can adjust. Of course, you will not tell us prior in advance, you know, that, for instance, a group of 14, 10 are doing scuba. So we arrange everything to set up the scuba equipment and all
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant. So potentially trips to Costa Rica or Panama would be great for, let's say, a keen diver in a family and somebody who maybe doesn't want to dive but wants to experience the destinations. It's quite nice, nice trip to propose to these kind of clients, right?
Yep. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. Definitely.
yeah.
That's
Okay.
something we can offer. Yeah.
Brilliant. So, and of course, I mean, Costa Rica, Panama, obviously you get to see some local communities that we mentioned before. And I don't know if you have an example of a community partnership that has particularly meaningful impact for both the, the receiving end, the community that receives the guests, and also for your clients that people tend to mention about. I don't know if you have an example.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we do have an example with Golfito.
Uh-huh.
Golfito is inside the Golfo Dulce. That's why it's Golfito, which it
Okay.
means
Small
like
goal.
little small golf. Yeah,
Yeah.
Golfito, Spanish. So it's a town, it's a village of 15 to 20,000 people, small, super small village.
Hmm.
And from the very beginning, we just work closely with the community and the president of the community. So we have a couple of really nice and beautiful actions that we're going to take actually next year. One of them is to bring the Real Madrid, the foundation of Real Madrid, to Golfito, since we already have an agreement with Fundación Real Madrid, and we keep the program here in Ecuador. And then we're bringing that program to Golfito, no, to have like 30 to 40 kids playing soccer or football, and giving them the values through the sport, just to be really nice persons in the future. Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. And in terms of the, I'm jumping a little bit around the questions, but because obviously we talked about quite remote islands you go to. So what is one of the more remote places on your itineraries that you feel is really, really special? Maybe we already covered that. Coiba, I know it's a quite special place, but is there anything else that we didn't talk about that you feel deserves a mention on the itineraries with Kontiki Expeditions?
Yeah, indeed. Well, Osa Peninsula is big,
Okay, yep.
but within Golfo Dulce, we have this place, Los Mogos.
Mm-hmm.
Los Mogos, we have actually a beach day experience early in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. Just go there and sit and relax, enjoy a really nice beach day. And then after the afternoon, we go to Rio Esquinas, or Esquinas River. We bring our kayaks. So we
Mm-hmm.
go down the river through the mangroves, understanding how important the mangroves are in the area, for the area, and the impact of it, you know. Plus, you're gonna enjoy the noise and of the environment, and you're gonna see a lot of birds and also more animals. So yeah, if when you think about Disney and how they managed to put in Orlando these beautiful scenarios, probably they go to Mogos and and
Okay,
take
to take the inspiration.
inspiration of it. That's the word. Yeah, the inspiration of it. Yeah, that's
Ah,
definitely.
okay, brilliant. So, and for travel advisors who are quite new to Central America and don't necessarily know or like haven't been there, and get these questions from a clients about traveling there potentially. So, what would you say is the type of client that is best suited for the Kontiki expeditions? Because I think you are also like luxury brand. So just, if you could talk through this, like what is the ideal client and maybe who already travels with you, like a little bit of demographics, the age, the countries and all that.
Yeah. More than an age is like a type of traveler,
Mm-hmm.
and we just baptize this name as a Kontikier, you
Good to
know.
hear. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So the Kontikier is a type of traveler who seeks adventure, wants to be, on this kind of barefoot luxury, with super flexible itineraries, love to be in contact with nature, and of course, like the intimacy of the trip makes you special,
Mm,
is what's bring out the soul. So when you think about a contiquer is a person who is, yeah, probably in the 40s, 50s,
mm,
60s,
mm-hmm.
even 70s. Nowadays, it's amazing how 70 people look like, at 50s or 60s,
Yeah.
or well fitted and all that.
Mm,
So yeah, and now there's another places, of explorations on yachts that are older people, like 80s, 85
mm,
people. They can barely move. So definitely they are not the type of traveler that probably want to come to Kontiki, you know.
mm.
So is, yeah, at the end is a type of traveler, yeah.
And where would you say majority of your clients come from a point of view of countries?
Yeah, I can say that 80% or 85% Americans,
Okay.
since the proximity of
Yep.
Costa Rica, Panama. And then there are also British and Germans who are also super adventurous, Europeans in general, and let's say like 2 or 3% Latin Americans.
Okay. And from a point of view of positioning Costa Rica and Panama as expedition cruise destinations, what would be your tips? Because again, back to my point about when we talk about Costa Rica, Costa Rica, like for example, the other destination I can think about, like India, for example, always has a traveler always has an idea of what the experience should be like, and of course, Kontiki is offering something quite different. So, why would it be worthwhile positioning these two places as expedition cruise destinations? What do they have to the client?
Yeah, of course. I think that the best thing to describe is to go and meet and discover a country from the sea
Mm-hmm.
Without giving up like comfort,
Mm-hmm.
intimacy, and authenticity. And of course, since both countries are super rich in biodiversity, so at the very beginning, you will notice and see how rich the environment and how rich the earth is in those places, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and also another key element is this kind of barefoot luxury, which
Mm-hmm.
is you don't you need to leave your tuxedo, in home,
Hanging. Yeah.
That's right. So just be there, be yourself, and you will have a beautiful time. Yeah.
Brilliant. And so obviously you operate a boutique yacht in comparison to like a larger traditional expedition ship. And what are the operational challenges and at the same time advantages of this model of exploration?
Yeah. Since we are pretty far away from San
Mm,
Jose and
mm,
in Costa Rica and also in Panama, the
mm,
capitals, so sometimes it's difficult to find logistics in terms of, food and beverages.
mm,
But we manage, and that's
mm.
our know-how already,
Okay.
we manage, and yeah, and of course, the advantages are the accessibility, the flexibility, again, the intimacy, since we don't have propellers,
Mm. Yeah.
uh, so we
Uh,
have
yeah.
yeah, we have this water jets, so we can come to shore super close as well,
Okay.
and so that connection to be super near to the shore gives you the sense that, oh, you are just part of it, and you feel local at the end,
Brilliant. And so obviously having only 18 passengers on board the ship, do you find that you often charter the whole vessel to a group of friends or extended family? How does that is it something that works quite well for you? And
Yeah, well, definitely. um, we work in both senses, either to private charter or
mhm,
buyout of the yacht. Actually, is like the most important way of revenue of our company. But also we're working on FIT mode, right?
okay,
Free traveler, free independent traveler. So yeah, and as to go in a FIT business model takes a little bit of time
mhm,
because you have to bring so many people and feed it in every week, and
mm,
we're working on that. But yeah, so Kontiki is ideally uh, better for both kind of travelers. Family of
brilliant. Yeah,
six, only three cabins. That will be very very unique also to
yeah,
travel, or maybe a family of 12 who want to a buyout. So it depends
yeah,
on budget and also the kind of trip you want as well.
absolutely. And do you have a minimum age for children on
Yes.
these trips? Yeah,
On Yeah. On buyouts, we don't have a minimum age,
okay,
because we have cases that grandma is taking care of the newborn baby,
okay, yeah, sure,
and it's in hands.
yeah.
But on FITs, yeah, 5 years up.
Okay, brilliant. And
Yeah.
so
FIT.
talking about logistics and tools, to learn about more about expedition cruising with Kontiki Expeditions. So one of the questions we often get from travel advisors in UK who may not necessarily have a direct contract with you but potentially work with tour operators that have trade-friendly side to business. So are there any tour operators that you work with here in UK that you could nominate for those that might be interested to explore?
Yeah. Actually, on this Friday, we start 16 trips between
Okay.
2026 and 2027 with a recovering Kent.
Okay, yeah.
So if you want to already want to send some passengers, just contact them because they have these programs already going
Okay.
on. And they are the ones that we just feel more confident on it because they
Okay.
just been in the boat already, have some familiarization and educational trips with them already.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I can say them as the ones that we can, who understands better the product and the
Okay.
area. And now we're just, operating with them. Yeah.
Absolutely. And the ones who want to work with you directly, I suppose they should just email you at
Yeah, sure.
yeah. So
They can reach me and they put in contact with reservations department or
yeah,
booking
yeah.
department, and we're gonna see, all the availability and so on.
Brilliant. And I don't know, is there anything else I would like to ask you? Yes. So any sort of selling tips or like selling angles that tend to resonate most when introducing Kontiki to potential travelers or even travel advisors? What do you find they are always most keen to hear about?
Sure. Well, definitely is the scale of the ship,
Yep.
and since it's for only 18 guests, so you can imagine the intimacy and the authenticity that you can find in every excursion, plus inside the ship, because you're
Mhm.
gonna have also some ceviche lessons, some catas or tasting of chocolate and cacao with local rum, so yeah, and plus the fact that we are also super flexible, and if you're in a buyout, we give you the power to decide. You want to go to that secluded island or this private beach experience. Go and swim with spinner dolphins, for instance.
Mm.
So yeah, you have a menu of activities to choose, and you are the one to decide.
Yep.
It's not the company, it's not the CEO, it's not the guide, it's you.
Yep.
So that's perfect to clarify and to point out.
Brilliant. And in terms of the anything else like for travel advisors that would help them sell Central America differently or just even kind of suggest these trips. Any other tips that you think would resonate?
Yeah, Latin America in general, they are now quite popular
Mm.
because Spanish and to learn Spanish and the Spanish traditions and all that, and are quite unique. And in this case, Central America, as part of Latin America, and Costa Rica and Panama are both unique, and I think it is time to get to these places. Costa Rica is super popular for
Mm.
everyone, but to go on this mode of traveling, which is knowing a place from the sea, I think is unique too, especially in that area,
Yeah.
in Peninsula Osa, So yeah, I think biodiversity, and since both countries are super rich in biodiversity, and to be and mingle with locals as well, and have this cultural immersion, So at the end is a trip of purpose, that is gonna give you a trace, and give you that sense of yeah, I feel that being in Latin America, in Central America, yeah.
Brilliant. And out of curiosity, and just in case you have that kind of data, so to sort of understand the scale of tourism in some of the places you go, like the Caribe Island, do you know how many people visit in a year? Because
Well,
it's quite if I'm not mistaken, it's actually quite a distance from a mainland, so you do have to go off
yeah.
like for a bit.
Yeah, well, I don't have like exact numbers,
Uh-huh.
but what I know from experience is there's just quite a few people, either in Coiba Island and archipelago of Chiriquí, plus Peninsula Osa, which is the south part of Rica. So, and is because as you said, the access to those places are quite difficult.
Yeah.
And the only way you can access is just to go in these pangas, 2 to 3 hour ride, which is sometimes uncomfortable. Yeah, but now with Kontiki Guaira in the area, you just solve that problem.
Mm.
And you can be in Coiva Island, go on an exploration on these hikes on monkey trails, that you can see the 4 species of monkeys, for instance, and maybe 1 hour and a half, 2 hours of hiking, and then just come back to the boat and be in the jacuzzi with your favorite cocktail, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that kind of things as you always you're gonna see on Kontiki, yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. And probably the last question. So I presume, whenever you are on board the ship, you get to speak to the clients who are traveling with you. And I'm sure you're asking them, like, how did you find out about Kontiki Expeditions? What was your inspiration to come on board and experience Costa Rica, Panama with you? So what is there any sort of common answer that you often hear, or like what kind of experiences these travelers choose before they get on board with you?
Yeah.
Are they quite experienced? Like, do they like going on expedition trips? Do they like to go on adventure trips,
Yeah.
skiing holidays? Like, any
Yeah.
intel you can share
Yeah.
with our
Well,
listeners?
since the fact that we just sail during the day half mile from the coast,
Yeah,
so you got to see always the coast.
yeah,
And I think that and that happens in Costa Rica and in Panama and in
yeah.
Ecuador when you used to operate in Ecuador as well. So once you see the coast and you get the proximity and you get near to the place that you were gonna disembark on a shore excursion, so it completely changed the vision of traveling,
Of course.
because you're not inland and going by car and going to a reserve, or a beach. So you're getting off to the place that you are supposed to go, and that gives you the sense of conquering or discovering
Mm,
from the sea, you know, and that's unique. And also the level of service. So since we have 13 crew member, so we're almost reaching 1-to-1 ratio
mhm.
industry, which is super good. And you notice and you find out as soon as you be on board at the very beginning, that level of service is really good. And of course, you just go to Kontiki to have fun, enjoy, disconnect. But with that level of service, we have cases that they want to bring the bartender back home. When
Okay,
take the
because
bartender
yeah,
back home, or the chef, which is
yeah, yeah,
also the one who's always has really good
yeah.
memories and points. Yeah.
Brilliant. And so just also as a reminder to everyone, your Panama and Costa Rica trips, if I'm not mistaken, are 7 days long. Sorry, 7 nights
Yeah.
long.
Yeah,
Um,
we offer seven nights, 8 days, and
okay.
also 4 nights, 5 days as well.
So it's actually a great potential trip to add to a larger trip in the region
Sure.
for those who are traveling,
That's right. If you already have your preferred DMC, either in Costa Rica or Panama, you can contact them and they will arrange maybe, to visit Arenal or Tortuguero, combining with Contiki at the south, and you will have like a perfect experience in Costa Rica and in Panama. Pretty much the same. You want to go to the Canal, to be there 2 3 days at Panama City, which is beautiful and vibrant city, and be at Kontiki for nights is perfect. Now, if you don't have a local DMC, we work as a DMC. Since we're locals, we know every hotel, every transfers, even chartering the airplanes as well. So yeah,
so it can help as well
I
in
think
case
that
people need some inspiration.
yeah, but for me, to be 7 night, 8 days gives you the completely idea of a really nice and well-rounded trip.
Okay.
Uh, yeah.
Brilliant. Very good. I think we are about to finish this conversation. I wanted to open questions to the audience. If you guys have any questions, now is the time to ask Carlos. Let's give it a minute. Nope, I don't think we have any. No. Well, thank you so much, Carlos, for joining me today for this conversation. And it's been great to learn a little bit more about Kontiki Expeditions. And I hope it was, let's see, somebody maybe asked a question or, muchas gracias, says Marichel Codina Molina. Thank you. And yeah, so thank you once again, and I look forward to sharing this in a form of a blog post as well with our members. So, and I just want to wish everyone a lovely evening. And after, actually, Debbie has a question. How far in advance to plan a buyout, and will you send information after? So Debbie's asking how far in advance you should be planning the buyout. Yeah.
Well, not we are for instance for 2026 festives and all that, we are open. I always say the big five are still open, which are Eastern, which is March 27 to April 4th, 5th, something like that. The second week of June, which is super popular for summer. Thanksgiving and Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve in 2026 are open. So the big 5 weeks are open. So yeah, please feel free to contact us, ask for an inquiry, and then we proceed.
And Max is also asking for potential partnerships or to discuss working together. What is the best way to get in contact? Max, before Carlos answers this question, I am going to share all your details with Carlos. So I'm sure he will be following up with all attendees and share with you the details on how to get in touch and how to make these connections. Gary saying, excellent presentation, very useful. Thank you, Gary, and thank you guys for your time. As always, really appreciate it for spending some time with us and listening to these conversations. Great. Well, thank you, Carlos. Thank you, everybody, and look forward to connecting soon. And Carlos will share with you the details of how to make these relationships happen. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.